Hold on now. You haven't heard about Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast, whether you have 200 listeners or 2,000. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Let's go. What's up? You are now listening to FYI FLI, the podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm trying to give me a bag. 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 I'm trying to give me a bag.
What's up, my fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. My name is Hassan Thomas, a.k.a. Sonny Manziel, because all I talk is money, baby. And I'm here with the Fly's co-host around, Mr. Make a Play, Remy G. What's up, bro? Talk to us.
Man, I'm feeling good. We got 21 more days to graduation?
Yes, sir. Then we walking, baby. Yes, sir. Well, here at FYI FLI, you know we like to start off the show with a meaningful quote about money. And y'all know this is a show about financial literacy. And financial literacy at its simplest, understanding not only how to budget your money, but being able to save and grow your money effectively and efficiently. So today my quote comes from digitalmarketing.org. Your content is the fuel that burns the fire at the heart of your digital marketing strategy. But engagement is the spark that lights it up. So today we have a very special episode. We actually have our first celebrity joining us on the show. She's been in countless movies like Trolls, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Beauty and the Beast. She even interviewed President Obama.
Can't forget about her almost dying from doing the cinnamon challenge a couple years ago. Bro, I think that video alone has 60 million views?
Yeah, she's definitely running that joint up, bro. But if y'all haven't figured it out yet, we will be interviewing Miss GloZell Green. And since she is an OG in the social media influencer game, me and Remy G will be chopping it up about how social media influencing has become one of the hottest and most relevant professions.
And we're going to give y'all some insight on how to get your followers up and your dollars up.
Yes, sir. So let's get active. So for anybody listening, actually, let's look up what the definition of social media influencing is. So according to Pixie.com, social media influencing is a user on social media who has established a credibility in a specific industry. A social media influencer has a large audience and can persuade others by virtue of their authenticity and their reach.
I'm actually glad you looked up that definition, bro, because I was going to say you don't even need a large audience to be an influencer. But according to that definition, I guess you do. I feel like you don't even need a big following to influence people. Social media influencers are more relevant than ever today because of COVID. Literally, everybody has the potential to become stars from their bedroom. But to be a social media influencer in the terms of an occupation, like we're talking about today, you need to have a large following for sure.
But what is a large following? Interviewing Miss GloZell Green, I asked her, what is the magic number inspiring influence should be trying to hit to begin monetizing their content? And she said 10,000 views is a good number. But even having 1,000 consistent views, she was able to leverage promo revenue from small local businesses, which allowed her to run her followers up and her dollars up. Being a social media influencer has really blossomed into a profitable hustle if you can do it right. So today we have 6 tips to becoming a social media influencer. And number 1 is confidence. Have y'all ever watched a movie and was like, he can't even act? Or have y'all ever listened to somebody sing who really couldn't? Well, the difference between you and them is not talent, it's execution.
Facts, CEO. They have the confidence to get out their comfort zone and pursue their passion. Think of it like this. You'll never be the worst at what you do, and you may never be the best. But it's really about being the best version of yourself and letting the cards fall where they may. You got to control the controllables.
But bro, do you think confidence is something that people are born with or something people learn?
Man, honestly, bro, both of them. Just like being a leader. Some people are just natural born leaders, and some have to be taught. In terms of confidence, yeah, bro. Some people are just more naturally confident than others.
That's facts, General. To give a real life example, in the beginning of 2020, I had began meeting with professors at our school, Maryville College, to eventually get a meeting with the dean to present my financial literacy resources. So in March, I finally got that meeting. And when I tell you I began preparing literally 3 weeks before my meeting, you could say I was over-prepared. Saying that to say, preparation allowed me to go into that meeting with the dean of my college and confidently rock that joint.
That's a huge thing you just said, bro. You began preparing. And you know what Big Gay say? Proper preparation prevents poor performance, baby.
No cap. So number 2 is to pick a niche.
For anybody who doesn't know what a niche is, that's fine. It's all good. That's why we here, baby. So a niche is a specific segment in the market.
Oh, bro, I got a great example. So boom, we got every person in the U.S., and that's going to be our whole market. So let's say we're selling anime action figures. So now from a marketing aspect, we need to know out of every person in the U.S. who likes anime. So we do some marketing research, some surveys, polls, focus groups, all that. Shout out to our marketing professor, We Foo.
The fool.
Yeah, bro. So with doing all that, the purpose was to niche down and see which portion of people from our whole market were anime fans. So now we can focus in on marketing and branding efforts on them instead of people who couldn't care less about anime.
Yeah, like me.
Dang, G, growing up, you couldn't never get into it.
Man, that just wasn't my thing. I like watching wrestling.
Nah, I feel that. I was a pretty basic anime fan, I guess. My show was Dragon Ball Z, and I still watch that joint to this day if I had the time, no cap. But enough about Dragon Ball Z. Let's slide to number 3. The third tip to being a social media influencer is to engage and understand your audience. Bro, it really blows me when I see people with less than 10K followers not responding to comments. Now, don't get me wrong. Life doesn't revolve around social media, and in-person conversations are a priority as well. But if someone takes the time to comment on your post, show them folks some gratitude because they didn't have to do nothing for you.
Great point, bro. Because those organic and natural followers who show love are priceless. But not only should you be engaging, but your pages need to be engaging as well. Your profile picture, header, bio, anything that's presentable on your page needs to be welcoming. Now, welcoming can be very subjective. What they say, son? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, huh? And that's true. You as an influencer or entrepreneur need to understand your audience and your niche market to determine what's welcoming to that specific group. But before we move on to number 4, let me give y'all a quick little recap. The first 3 tips on being a social media influencer are 1, being confident, 2, finding your niche, and 3 is to engage with your audience. Our 4th tip is to create a content strategy. Y'all already know what we like to say. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. No cap. If you're taking social media seriously, building your business or personal brand and content strategy is non-negotiable.
So content strategy is a system in which you plan on creating, editing, and distributing your content. But before we really lock in on a content strategy, be sure to know content is basically any information about you or your business.
And that strategy part is the plan to, like Son said, create, edit, and distribute that information. This is so important because it allows you to push the right content out at the right time. For example, say we selling FYI FLI energy drinks, and from our research, we know most people drink energy drinks in the morning or late at night. So keeping that in mind, when do y'all think the best time to post is? Well, just like the research says, in the morning and at night. But what this does from a content strategy standpoint allows these posts to already be scheduled and ready to release.
Instead of having to create and make content every single day. Sorry I interrupted you, bro, but I felt that one, man. That's one thing that would really help me is developing out my posts beforehand so I'm not spending an hour doing an informational post or an hour doing a 30-second reel. One of these days, I'm really just going to lock in and knock out content and just have it locked and loaded, ready to go. Man, because we got to work smarter, not harder, huh?
Yeah, bro. And not to sound cliche or nothing because we're on a podcast talking about financial literacy, but time is money, literally. So for our final tip, we have something that's key, but a lot of people sleep on it. The 5th tip is to track your data.
Bro, I think many people sleep on tracking data because we may not be seeing the big numbers that we want to see right now. But even though you may not consider those numbers to be big, the truth is, whatever you track grows. And you have to be prepared for success. You got to act and treat yourself as if you already have those millions of followers and customers. Because if you're not tracking data at that point, you're really going to take a L.
Facts, CEO. In terms of tracking that data, you need that to grow. A real life example would be, say you do a post on social media, you singing and you get like 2 likes. Then you do a post of you rapping and you get 5. Then you do a post of you saying something funny and get 25 likes. Well, based on that data, you need to be trying to be the next Kevin Hart or Cat Williams, not the next Drake, Lil Baby.
Or the next Remy G.
You feel me? Use data and analytics to figure out what your audience likes and continue to find innovative ways to feed your audience content that they enjoy and watch your numbers grow.
Like I said in episode 1, it doesn't matter what you like unless you're going to be the only one buying your product. Figure out your audience and then put it on a plate for them and serve them up, baby. Simple as that. But y'all stay locked in. We're going to take a quick break and slide into our insightful interview with the queen of YouTube, Miss GloZell Green. Let's go. What's up, my fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. And today we are speaking with a very special guest. She has over 1 billion combined views on social media, been in movies like Trolls, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Beauty and the Beast, and many more. Please welcome actress, social media influencer, and the queen of YouTube, Miss GloZell Green. How you doing?
Hello, this is GloZell. Is you okay? Is you good? Because I want to know I am good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, yeah. So tell us a little more about you, your background for those 2-3 people out there that don't know you. You know, talk to us.
Okay, my background is in musical theater and comedy. People are always like, you're so funny. And I'm like, okay. So I was always drawn to the arts. I have a Bachelor in Fine Arts from the University of Florida. Go Gators.
Okay.
And Florida was always supposed to be the next Hollywood, but we've been hearing that for the next 100,000 years. They've been saying that. So I was like waiting. I'm like, I got to come to LA. Now, when I came to LA, that was over 20 years ago. Most of the comedy sitcoms started to shift. We didn't have the internet like we have now. So it was basically television, radio, television, film. So if the comedies, the sitcoms started to change, situation comedies, where it was starting to evolve around a comic. So you see Seinfeld, who does stand-up, now getting a show wrapped around the things that he was saying. You see Ellen DeGeneres, doing stand-up. Now she's got a show wrapped around the things she was saying. Roseanne Barr, stand-up. I'm like, oh, you need to be a stand-up. And it kept going on like that. I was like, oh, Ray Romano, he's a stand-up, and now he's got a show. And so I'm like, okay, I need to do stand-up. People say I'm funny, and I want to do sitcoms. That's the way.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, but late night was really not my thing. And I'm a clean comic. So I was kind of like just softer next to everybody else. And, you get bumped, you get 10 people to come watch you so you can get 3 minutes on the stage. And then here comes Robin Williams. And, like, okay, well, you can't go up now because he's here. I'm like, of course. Yeah, I get it. But now you got to beg 10 people to come back the next week, and pay for valet parking and 2 drink minimum and a ticket. I'm like, I'm the one that got those 10 people, but they saw a great show, but they didn't see me, know. And I've gotten bumped by Jamie Foxx and Damon Wayans, and I'm like, y'all better be funny, So when YouTube came around, I'm like, well, I can put my stuff here, because I'm getting bumped on the comedy club. It's late, and I got to ask people from my church to please come to the comedy club, and you don't know what everybody's going to say. You're hearing all kinds of things, which is fine, but, and it's late night, and I'm like, okay, I'm not that person. But when I started putting videos up, I'm like, okay, it looks like there's 20 people watching. Okay, 30 people watching, and eventually 50 people watching. Like comedy clubs, and definitely back in the day, they didn't have like 300, 400, 500 seats. It was only like 100. Maybe you get 85, 100 if you go to the Comedy Union before they remodeled, and all the other places before they remodeled the Ha Ha Cafe. You were sitting 70, 80 people in the club, no more than 100 people in the club. So I'm like, I'm getting the same amount of people, in a comedy club, and I'm at home. And they don't have to pay. I don't have to pay. So I really started.
Win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. I'm like, this didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to get dressed. No one had to get, and you can watch it when you want to watch it. So I was like, so I was one of the first ones going, this is it. Because I'm coming from the comedy club where I'm like, I hope my car is still there. Excuse me, sir, can you get off my car so I can drive off? And I would see comics that you would know from like Def Comedy Jam. You too young to know about that, but
who? Come on now, don't play with.
Ask your mama, she knows. But you see comics that you recognize, and they're like sleeping on the couch. They don't have a home. They're hungry, like I'm willing to do this for my break, I got beat out one time for $25 by Tiffany Haddish. It was 2 of us, and I was like,
oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, I'm funny. She's never gonna make it, like what, I'm like, oh, hello. And I'm obsessed with everything she does. I love her. She's great. And I just remember that time, like, I had planned all my comedy. And she got up there like, I wanted to walk a dog. And she was like, ruh, 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 and she was just acting like a dog. And everybody fell out. Like, you could... I was like, oh my gosh, they're laughing at... This is not even a joke, people. And she was just so funny. So funny. So much success to her. Great, great, great.
Most definitely.
And so that's what I'm talking like. There was like maybe 30 people in that club. So my route took me like, okay, this is not my thing. You know, like I like the internet, and you could find your audience. Your audience finds you, you know. People who like this person, they like this person, like that. And I milked that, and that's where I've been, and I enjoy that very much.
So coming from, you know, your YouTube videos when you were getting 30 to 40, 20 views, you know, now going on videos where you have 60 million views, you know, 50, 40 million views on one video. Talk to us about how that success just didn't happen overnight. Like, how long did it take for your YouTube to really pop?
Well, how long did it take for my YouTube to really pop? I was on YouTube 2008, and, you know, no one knew that much about the internet, and no one really cared. But the people who were on the internet, that seemed like the younger people, like, you could have your whole world, you could have money coming in, and the outside world, so to speak, had no idea who you were. And that was fine. It was great. Because then here comes like all these quote unquote real celebrities coming to the internet, and you're like, well, what? Now it's very super saturated, but there's room for everybody. But there was a time where the internet world was the internet world, and the TV world was the TV world, and the radio world and film. Everybody was in their own section, and nobody cared about the internet because they're like, what is that? You know, there's some people just acting funny, you know, spitting cinnamon or doing skateboard tricks. Like, nobody was paying attention to it. And that was fine, but we were making our money and we were doing our things. And then as people like, wait a minute, you're making money. Like, what? You have an audience. You got thousands of people watching you. You know, wherever there's an audience, there's, you know, people are going to flock to that. And that's how it is. And that's fine. And you've got kids, you know, unwrapping presents and making billions, and, you know, it's something for everybody. Like, if you want to know how to knit a dog sweater in blue, there is a group knitting dog sweaters in blue on YouTube. Like, you can find anything,
literally anything,
anything, and that's what made me initially go there. Because I'm like, this is my world. The people who like me, because I don't feel like I was that hard enough. You know, I can't be like, guess what happened to me at church tonight? Like, oh my God. And then you've got Jamie Foxx like, hey, what's up, mother? You know, like, you know, and I'm like, I gotta go on after that. You know, like, can I go? I was like, can I go first? You know, like, just like, let me warm up the, you know.
Because I definitely wanted to ask you that question, because a lot of folks in my generation, you know, they see somebody with that million followers and they're like, man, they just got that, you know. So what words of advice do you have to anybody that's wanting to be an inspiring influencer right now, but doesn't have the big following that they see you have at this day?
People can have a great career and not have a lot of following. Like, so not a lot of following, but a lot of subscribers or followers. Because some people will watch and not subscribe. You know, a lot of people, I'm just looking, you know, but I'm not.
I need to subscribe. Man.
Right. It doesn't cost you anything, but you have a lot of looky-loos. That's why you can have millions of, you know, you have a video to have 60 million, but I don't have 60 million subscribers, you know, like, why don't y'all just click it, you know, because it just makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? It ain't costing you nothing. You spend your whole time begging, can you please follow? Can you please subscribe? Can you please share? Can you click like? Leave a comment? You know. All of that is your whole life saying, like, you know, it doesn't cost you anything. I know you watched the video. I'm seeing the numbers. Just click subscribe.
Exactly. And, you know, most people's goals nowadays are to go viral on social media. So once someone goes viral, can they get paid off one video? And if so, touch on the importance of making that money last, because who's to say that you'll have another video that blows up?
Right. Now, when you get a video that goes viral, it depends on what you went viral for. Now, a lot of people might watch and think that it's funny. Some people might watch and go, hey, now, you doing on the skate, you singing something on the skateboard about cranberry juice. Now, cranberry juice might call you and be like, hey, you know what? This is a problem. Let's do that. But if you're like, hey, I made a whole lot of money jumping off a house, and gosh, you know, everybody saw that. I mean, who's advertising that? You might have a lot of, you know, views. That don't mean that it parlays into money. You know, you have to hide your kids, hide your wife. Like, we all know that. You know, we've all seen a lot of things that go viral, you know, but where are they now? You know, and what happens when you get that one hit that was by accident or something, and usually is never the ones you think is going to be, you know, like, okay, I got my lighting right. I got my outfit. I ordered this. I got that. 5 people watch, And I'm like, okay, this stupid cinnamon, like, 70 people watch. Like, I almost died. That's what you want to, what? So it's all over the place. When you get that hit, because some people, like myself, I was already an actress. Like I had an agent, I was already there. So if you don't have that, then now when people are contacting you, and have somebody there also with you, because you're thinking like, I'm gonna be on, the Today Show now, and I'm gonna, and that's great. But that comes and goes pretty quickly. And you want to parlay that into something. Hey, now maybe there's something that you're interested in. Like, what is it that you like? Like, I like Glad Tupperware. Glad, that's 2 different things, but Tupperware. So
yeah, I got
you. So like, or Glad trash bags. Like, look, this is my video here. Blah blah blah. You need to like pedal yourself if what you're wanting is not coming to you. It's nonstop. You're selling yourself. So I put it like this. There's a lot of people who are talented that you'll never see because they're trying to perfect it. They won't put it out unless it's absolutely perfect and it never gets out. And then you have somebody who those perfect people complain about, look, I can do that. They're not that good. How they get that part? Because they put it out there and they kept going.
Yeah.
When
consistency.
When I was at the comedy club, the people who inspired me the most were the people who were horrible. I was like, how are you getting on this stage? Time of the time, and you are awful. You are terrible. No one has said you were funny, and you're here night after night after night because they have the dream. The talent didn't catch up yet.
The dream and that confidence just keep going out there.
And I'm like, you are bad, but then you have some people who are like really funny who won't go on the stage. They won't do it. They won't put the video out there. Like, no, someone's going to look at my weight, or someone's going to look at my color, or someone's going to look at my age, or you got to put it out there. And it is a wild, wild west. Just consistency is definitely the key. And you're going to have ups and downs. Like I have ups and downs, and you got to keep going. You got to have a positive mind, because especially if you get a hit, and now you at the White House, and then you turn around, one day you wake up, you're like, oh, I'm in Vanity Fair, and I'm getting evicted.
That's really why we wanted, to get you on the show, because we wanted to talk more about, ways that we can monetize our followings, because that's really, what the goal is, because we're trying to get our followers up and our dollars up, So can you touch on, just more ways that we can monetize our followings?
The best way is to monetize your followings, and when you have a following, you want to always have something out there, because people are like, I'll buy your t-shirt, your mug, have something for them. And it doesn't cost you that much, but they want to help you out. And it's a piece of, even if it's like your autograph on a picture, like you can go to Kinko's or FedEx, get a nice picture and start there. You can start with something, and people have something. I would have meet and greets. COVID has probably, we might start to get into those, but I would have meet and greets. I'm like, look, I'm going to be at Target. I would pick public places that parents would mind, being right there,
You're charging for those meet and greets?
No, but I would have my stuff there. I didn't contact Target, because then that's the official something. But all of a sudden everyone's like, what? Because I didn't know how many people would show up, but there would be a lot of people show up, and I was just like, okay, I'm just letting you know I'm going to be sitting here at, they have the little restaurant kind of thing at a Walmart or a Target or what. I'm like, that's where I'm going to be. And so people show up, and I'm like, okay, well, you can't sell anything, but I have a donation if you want this t-shirt, kind of a thing. And that's what I would do. Or I'll like, okay, I'm traveling. I'm in this hotel. I'm going to go down to the lobby, at 4:00. I'll be there from 4 to 6. I would do that.
Pull up.
Like, the hustle was real. Like, okay, I'm going to be at this gas station. I'm just going to have my trunk open. I'm going to have my t-shirt. I would do that. And I traveled and I did that kind of thing, and I might have to go back to it. And it's not a problem. Like, once you did it, you can do it again. Yeah,
exactly. Hopping right back on that grind.
Right.
But I wanted to touch on your personal story a bit. We always have people come on the show and talk about, how everything's going right and how easy and simple everything is. But I really wanted to hear from you, because I think this will help a lot of people. So tell our fly folks listening about the Million Stories Media show, Faceplant, that you're on. Tell them what that is, and then tell us about your personal faceplant moment.
My personal, okay, you have all this, you have people around you, and I'm a giver. And so you're making this money and you're trying to make people happy, and that doesn't always work. And then I was doing in vitro. I was trying to have a child, and I was obsessed with that. And also I got in so much debt, trying to do that. And, like I said, YouTube changed how they're paying people. And I was just caught up in debt. And, where I lived was $5,000. And then, like I said, I had the Mercedes and I still have it. And so, my bills were all of a sudden high. They weren't high before because the money was coming in. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, something else will come through, because I had all my eggs in one basket, one way from YouTube. Now, like I said, you have your concerts when you can, meet up with people, sell stuff, and people, you have your audience. They want something from you. They'll do that. If you ask them, they want to, because that would be the way. You can't have it all in one basket, because when that basket change,
what you gonna do?
And that's what happened to me. It's like, well, I know people that know me. I feel like Tina Turner. Once again, I'm making references about things that you don't know because you're such a youngster. I was like, you're such a youngster. But she's like, just let me have my name. Like if I know me, and I can rebuild myself because people know me. So I'm like, I'm GloZell, and sometimes I have to be reminded. I'm like, you spoke, to a sitting president in the White House. Remember that? You have millions of hits. Remember that? Oprah has retweeted things that you've done. Remember that? You have to remember who you are, because you're just like, you can go like divorce and a separation and moving and the money not coming in. It's like everything hit. And then COVID. So then it was like, there's not any productions going on. I was doing more auditioning and more acting, and now that's gone. So you're just like, so be surrounded by people who have your best interest, and don't just be so trusting to everybody. And also know where your money is going. You make it.
That's the biggest rule right there. Know what's coming in, and you got to know what's going out.
You got to check the people that check for you. Like the people that you trust with your money. You need to, hello, how you doing? What's going on? What happened this month? What's like, you got to stay on top of it, because a lot of people who are talent are not business people, but you got to become one.
Facts. When you got that money in your face, you got to become one. And that's why I think financial literacy is so important, because everyone deals with money. Right. You know what I mean? So you have to be educated on this money that you're dealing with. And honestly, the way I look at it, money acts like a safety net. Right. It provides you with that peace of mind.
Right. And trust me, where I've been, especially since like 2018, 19, 20, slowly coming back up, I will definitely appreciate that. And it's a respect for money and having a peace of mind. When you worried all the time, like, okay, how am I going to pay for school? Like, I hope my car is still there. And, like, okay, COVID is here. They're not kicking people out. So I've got a little time. What am I going to do? And then you'll see you'll be surprised who will come to your aid, or who will be there and who's not. You're like, I thought we were down. Okay, let me just call you, because I know you live in a mansion. I'm gonna need a place to stay. So, and then I find out there's a lot of people that I can name some names that you would know, and you're like, they're in the same predicament. Well, what had happened is, I'm renting out my house. You're like, oh, I'm not the only one in this situation. So it happens to the best of us. So I would tell everybody, and just like I've heard before, but please listen. You got to take care of your money. Live below your means if you need to, and that's what I'm going to do. Trust me. Don't say nothing when you see me in that Prius.
From the biz to the
I'm
Prius.
Like, I'm good. I can handle this payments right here, or whatever it is. My little Honda, whatever. I don't know. We get to point A to point B. We're safe. We're good. Been there, done that.
So let's touch back on those millions of views that you were getting, still to this day, because we love to talk passive income on our show, getting money in your sleep, because, with those YouTube videos, you make one video one time, and if it blows up, then you can be making money forever. So really touch on the importance of passive income for us.
Passive income is, first of all, I think that's the greatest sentence in the world. Passive income. Those are the greatest two words.
Money in your sleep.
Yes.
That's what we need.
So when you have a video, let's say, And it doesn't have to be the biggest video, but you've got people who will play it. For some reason, let's say, I don't know, I mentioned something and my Korean friend, and I learned this word. Now, Korea is watching this video, you know, like, or all the Korean fans in America or something, like, and it went on their network. So you don't see the hits, but they paid for your video to be there, and now you're popular in other places. So it happens in so many different ways. So I said, put your ideas out there. You know, just you don't know which one. And I've had videos like, this video has been out there forever. Now all of a sudden, someone did something with, let's say, I don't know, ice. I did ice bucket challenge or something. And now this video is popular again. Now people are watching, you know, and now I've got clips that I put on my TikTok. And now that's bringing new people back to the YouTube, you know, videos I've done, putting clips on Facebook, you know, they're bringing them back. So it's like, I have thousands. I have over 2,000 videos up. So post, and and you don't even have to worry about the numbers then, because I'm telling you, a hit can come later. A great example of that is this commercial is like is Tag Team back and whoop, there it is. You know, like that song is 20 years old, and now I was my 4-year-old and her friends, they're singing whoop, there it is. Like it has come back, you know, like I'm sure they like that was I can't name another song these people do. You know what I'm saying? I can't name another song that these people do. But you got that one hit, you have that one video, you put it up there, and who knows? All of a sudden it comes back. Exactly. You know, and you know, it makes them popular and happy, and that's what happened to me. You know, like wait, so and so Miley Cyrus saw this video and she put what? Great. Like, Snoop Dogg used a clip of my, you know, and put it on his Instagram. I'm like, what?
Now you right back.
Right. You know, and you know, you're so thankful for those people, because it's not the ones that you feel like that's closest to you that's sharing your videos.
Because they don't. But
no,
that's another topic.
They share other people's videos, you know, whatever. God bless them. But thank you, Snoop Dogg. I never met this man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I put it out there. You will never know how.
Definitely.
And if you're consistent, you gonna make it. You will make it. I'm telling you, there's people who are not funny, kept going on that stage, and I see them in commercials. I see them in things. I'm like, when I tell you, no talent. And I'm sure you've seen, you know, you have the drive but not the talent. I'm sure you've seen a movie or a show and you're like, how in the world did they cast this person? Like, like I could do better than that. I mean, like, their lips are moving with other people. Like, this is bad, you know.
Facts.
But they're on there. You know, they kept going. They did whatever. So just consistent. And I'm listening to my own words, because you get like, didn't I make it enough? You know, but like, hey, are you still living? Then you need to still keep going. Thank you.
Exactly. And to touch back on, you know, your point about just putting it out there and really being consistent is so important. And it's not even just for influencers.
Right.
For entrepreneurs out there, the importance of putting out a digital product, a product that you make one time, an ebook, an e-course, you know, different things like that. You make those one time, and then now you can eat forever. You know, it gets popular. And who said, you know, like you said, you could get popular in 5 months and 6 months and a year. And your money's just coming in while you're asleep. So that's very important. But let's dive a little deeper now. So tell us, what are some common misconceptions about being a social media influencer, and then give us some harsh realities as well.
Well, one thing about being a social media celebrity star or posting, you're usually posting your best, you know. So people also, they think they want your life. You want the Kardashian life or whatever. But you're watching a show, and on the internet, maybe, you know, people feel like they know me and they've watched clips of my life for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And they really feel like they know you and they can judge upon that, you know, and you're like, because you're putting yourself out there. So you can't put yourself out there and be mad that people are giving you their opinion, you know?
Because it's out there to the world.
You put it out there, you want everybody to just be like, you are wonderful and I love you. You name somebody that you love, somebody can't stand them. You know, like, I love Beyonce. There'll be somebody like, she's just too fat. I don't. You're like, what? But you can say that about Jesus. You can say that about somebody don't like something that you love. Like, and it's okay. It's okay. Don't read the comments. I was in this movie called Ralph Break the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2. And it's about Ralph. becoming a social media star, and then he starts reading the comments like he's big, he's fat, like he's dumb, and like it happens.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, on your best day, you'll read something, and someone told me like, "Wow, Danny Glover is not looking too good today in that green lipstick, looking like a gorilla," and I'm like, ah! Like, why did I read it today? Because it happened on that day that you like, I'm already like going through whatever I'm going through. But then, there's so many wonderful, great people out there also. So I would say don't get caught up in the high praise and the lowness, because there's people who just troll you, even though you should watch the movie Trolls because I'm in it.
Facts. So just basically just having that balance.
And don't depend, your happiness cannot depend on the comments or the numbers, or you will go crazy. You will go crazy. I put it like this. There's a show that was called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and it was a pretty popular show on television, and the girl started on the internet. One of the reasons why they put it on television because she didn't have that many numbers. Not everybody had seen it, and it was a great idea. So if you like, oh, not that many people saw it, and you don't put it out there or you don't continue, it was a great concept. And people were like, okay, the whole world hasn't seen it yet. This is still new let's put it out here. Lisa Ray, she's from the internet. I know her, met her plenty of times. Her numbers weren't billions and millions and millions of hits. But guess what? She parlayed to television, and now it is, so you can't go. It was like the misunderstanding of a black girl or something. One of the first ones that she did, and it was good. It was consistent. But millions and millions and millions of hit at that time? No, it was not. And when she went to television, it was great. It's beyond great. And they, a part of people did that because not everybody already knew the story. It was still a new story, and yet it was out there and it was good. So, and then she's probably to Insecure and all these other wonderful things that she's done. So I would say consistency, put it out there. And have fun, enjoy your life. If you're, when I was doing it, you didn't know that you could make money. So you're putting your ideas out there, you're having fun, you're doing your stand-up, because stand-up in LA, you're not making money. You're going out there, you're putting it out there. So do that and enjoy yourself. Now, it's interesting when you know that you can make, some people are making so much money. A lot of people are lying about that, but you put it out there, and that's really all you could do. Have fun, enjoy yourself.
I would just really think that people, in this day and age, we can use social media as a diving board, to spring us into other platforms and other arenas. So that's huge. And I'm seeing that's what, you did basically. And that's why we're so happy to have you here. But it is FYI FLI. So we got to ask you a few buddy questions. So tell us, what are some positive money habits that you do personally? And if you have any negative, let us know so we can cut them off.
Okay, well, the negatives are easy because you spend it. I get it. I spend it. Don't do that. Save something, and save something in a place where you can't just take it out easily. Like it's got to sit there. Some kind of invest in it. So you can't just take it. And also, you don't have to have a big entourage around you. It's okay if you don't have all these people around you. You can just have good quality folks around you. That'll be good. And that'll help save you a whole lot of money and time and effort, because people gonna flock to you when you're popular, and that's great. But just be discerning. If you weren't here before, what you doing here now? Yeah, if
you wasn't walking with us, you ain't riding.
That part. Yeah, and look into, investing, I would say, investing, because a lot of things that us black folks don't know, like we, pool money together, like, oh, you doing this, we're doing that, let's get together, what do we need to do, what products can we sell, what can we do, that kind of a thing. Like, I would definitely see that as something like, okay, if I'm doing t-shirts, maybe there's a black owned business t-shirt or whatever kind of owned t-shirt business, and what can we how can we get this going, and what's gonna make ours different, so definitely you have something saved, some invest, and then of course enjoy.
Definitely gotta have that balance, gotta have that fun as well. You can't just be living below your means and not having no fun.
Right.
Don't nobody want to live like that.
No, because I know people like that who have a lot of money and they're miserable because they don't spend it at all, but they have so much in the bank and they do nothing. Now you're not living your life. And I know some people who have nothing and they're like, I'm going to die and I get to leave it all to my kids. You're like, that's going to spend it because they didn't earn it. You know, like it's going to be.
Exactly.
You know, so, okay. So if that's your goal, then that's your goal. Well, you could be living and enjoying your life and enjoying your money within reason. Within reason.
Exactly. And that just all comes from your plan, you know, from having a budget and different things like that. You know, because that's what it's all about, you know, living, because we want to be financially secure, but we don't want to be, we're just having hoarding money. You know what I mean? We don't want to be doing that. So I got one more question for you, Miss GloZell. I'm going to read you 2 quotes, and I need you to tell me which quote is more accurate in your opinion. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So my first quote is, money can't buy happiness. And my second quote is, more money, more problems. Which one is more accurate in your opinion?
Money can't buy happiness.
Talk to it.
Money can't buy happiness, because I've been in relationships where I've spent money to make somebody happy, and they weren't, and they never did. You know, never did get happy. And sometimes, you know, you got to know what it is that really makes you happy, because you might be spending on yourself, you know, trying to get yourself happy, and it might be like, you know what, you might need to handle that situation with your mom, with your dad, because you spending over here to make up a feeling over there. So money definitely cannot buy you happiness. No, so that is true. Now, you know, yeah, it can lead to some happiness, I guess, but no, it can't buy you happiness. And of course, you want to be, you know, when you hear those sayings, you're just like, yeah. And for me, it takes being at the rock bottom coming up to definitely appreciate it. So it'd be great if you didn't get your rock bottom, folks, you know, but hey, if that's how it has to do, you know, just know if you go there, that you can come up, you know.
Facts. Because
people have hurt themselves or killed themselves from losing money. You hear like people on stock market and like they're jumping out of, you're like, that's money, you know, like, so just know that you can make it again, you know, and maybe like this time I will definitely hold on to it and appreciate it and still enjoy my life. But, you know, like I had to be there. People had to go. I had to like wonder what in the world's going on. You know, like I had to hit my rock bottom. And now I'm on my way up. Now, on the way up is not as quick as, it isn't going as fast as I need to go. But you know, that's where your patience come over. Like you're like, okay, I got it, Lord. Okay, can you send me $1 million? But so slowly but surely. And
definitely that
yes,
patience.
and doing shows like this is very helpful, because one, you're interested in me. I'm like, there's people still interested. I still have a story to tell. You know, the good, bad, and all of that. And I'm going for it, and I don't have a problem. If I can help you, you know, save a step, that'd be great.
You're gonna be helping a lot of people. Influencers, entrepreneurs, you know, actresses, actors. You're gonna be helping a lot of people. We definitely appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us on FYI FLI, the podcast. Please let the audience know where to reach you. Any final words?
Thank you so very much for having me. I had a great time. Please, you can find me on GloZell, all things social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I am still there. Please subscribe, click like, share the videos. All right. Love you all. And my name is with a capital Z.
Do that. Thank you so much. So now we're going to take it back to Remy G and me for one of our favorite segments in the show called Did You Know? Let's go. Welcome back to FYI FLI, the podcast. And y'all already know what time it is, or maybe y'all don't. But me and Mr. Make a Play finna let y'all know. Did you know? 86% of companies have used social media influencers last year.
Did you know? 70% of teens trust influencers more than traditional celebrities.
Did you know? 4 to 10 millennials say that their favorite influencer understands them more than their friends.
Did you know? 60% of teens follow advice from influencers over celebrities.
Did you know? 57% of fashion and beauty companies engage in influencer marketing.
Did you know? Since 2017, the influencer industry has grown from 2 billion to 10 billion.
Billion with a B, huh?
Yeah, that's a big B there.
Hold on now. So to wrap up everything for my fly folks still locked in with us, it's a new age we live in. Things aren't the same as they were in the 90s and 2000s.
Shoot, things ain't even the same as they were in 2016, bro.
Nah, for real, you ain't lying. Nowadays, we can make money. Not just money, but a whole living from social media, from YouTube, from playing a game. Matter of fact, bro, one of my partners from high school actually got drafted by the New York Knicks esports team, which is the gaming portion of the New York Knicks. So yes, NBA and NFL teams pay gamers just to play video games. Saying that to say, if you have a dream, you better go out there and chase it.
Facts, bro, because what a time it is to be alive. You can see $1 million without having to be a pro athlete, rapper, or Pablo Escobar.
Hey, chill out, narco.
But nah, for real, there are plenty of social media influencers who've done it off strictly videos, and many more who've used those famous videos as a springboard into their other ventures. So for our recap of today's episode, the 5 tips to being an effective influencer are: 1. Confidence. Y'all know that's key. 2. Finding your niche. They say if you try to hit everybody, you end up hitting nobody. Number 3. Engaging your audience. What the quote at the beginning of the show say, CEO?
Your content is the fuel that burns the fire at the heart of your influencer marketing strategy, but engagement is the spark that lights it up.
That sounds good to me. Number 4. Create the content strategy, because if we fail to plan, say it with me, you already know what's coming. Then we plan to fail. And the 5th tip is to track that data, because like Son said, whatever you track grows.
And that's big facts from Mr. Make a Play. Now for our action items, because you know we can't leave y'all without them. Even if you're not an inspiring social media influencer, even if you're just an entrepreneur, then all this information applies to you as well. The GOAT Gary Vee says, if you want to win in business nowadays, you must realize that your company is a media company, not just a sales or service company. So be sure to find that inner confidence, and after you find your niche, you got to make sure you understand your niche, create a plan, make a play, track that data, get those insights, and adjust your plan till it's just right. Do you hear me? But that's it from the FYI FLI guys, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe and share. And what we say, G?
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
To tell a friend. Yes, sir, baby. I need everybody to stay safe.
Stay invested.
And stay fly. Thank you all for listening to FYI FLI, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guest. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI FLI Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly. But don't y'all go anywhere just yet. Stay tuned as each week here on FYI FLI, we like to give an independent artist a place to shine and gain some exposure. This week we have One Day by Lil J. Let's get it.
I see that look in your eyes, don't hide your love in the sky. Baby, is you ready to rise? She said she liking my vibe. Pour up that drink, I see you going crazy. Pull up to your spot in the stain, ready to run away. Baby, we can go away. Stacking up my paper like a wedding cake. One day, I swear it's gonna be our wedding day. I'm gonna stack this money, take us to a better place. I would kill for you, baby, and pray to God I beat the case. You the only girl I want, babe, will you marry me? When I'm down and out asking for help, babe, will you carry me? The way she give me brain, I love the way that she ain't scared to think. Laughing to the bank, joke on Harley Quinn, we kill the game. Dripping like the saint, I just want you, baby.